in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. I bear witness that there is no God besides He being Master Farad Muhammad. I bear witness that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is his last and greatest messenger. Assalamu alaikum. We are broadcasting live from the city of Cleveland. Cleveland, home to 117 ethnicities. Cleveland, home of J.D. Rockefeller, home of Carl B. Stokes, the great grandson of a slave, who would beat Seth C. Taft, the grandson of a president, and become the first black mayor of a major city such as Cleveland. Cleveland, founded in 1796 by General Moses Cleveland, is also the birthplace of American Nazism. We talked about this before. Walter Copper, an official in the Auslin Institute of the Third Reich, came to the United States in the early 1920s on an espionage mission. He began spreading the ideologies of the Nazi Party among white Americans. He formed a group of German Americans called the Teutonia Society, looking to get as many white Americans to join on to the Nazi Party. Read all about it at Cleveland State University's Michael Schwartz Library down there on Euclid. But this is information that they don't share with us in their classrooms. I open up in the name of Allah, Master Farad Muhammad, who at age 6 saw himself pushing the Rockefellers into a lake of fire. Master Farad Muhammad, whose work among us is to separate us from among our slave masters and give us something of our own. He doesn't come to make us the first black office holder in the land, not ours. Though Cleveland is 48% black, it ain't 48% ours. Not one hood belonged to us. Master Farad Muhammad, Allah, God in person, established the lost found nation of Islam in the West in the early 1930s. A nation within a nation in a land not our own. A land where the ideologies and values of its people is to us what the Nazi ideology was to the so-called Jews. Exodus 1 and 10. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. That's Exodus 1 and 10. After 400 years of darkness comes the light. After 400 years of not being able to find our way comes the guide, Allah in person, the great Mahdi Fard Muhammad. Message to the black man, page 103. The messenger writes, we have been living under the God of darkness while in the absence of the God of light. We just dealt with light during last class. In the same way that the light of the day appears to put out the black of the night, so it is that Allah, Almighty Allah, has come with truth to cast out and destroy falsehood. The devils have knowledge of the time of teachers, messenger Elijah Muhammad. We gotta get back to the books. Thomas Jefferson, American statesman, diplomat, lawyer, architect, philosopher, founding father and third United States president from 1801 to 1809. He said, indeed, I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just, that his justice cannot sleep forever, that considering numbers, nature, and natural means only, a revolution of the wheel of fortune, an exchange of situation is among possible events, that it may become probable by supernatural interference. The Almighty has no attribute which can take side with us in such a contest. These are the words of a man who wears many hats. Yet he doesn't seem too proud to first believe in a God and then to believe in a just God who would come and bear witness against him and his countrymen. But leave it to the Negro. He goes and he finds this bit of information and that bit of information in the white man's schools, universities, and some of his libraries. He comes back to us as if he's something great, as though he's something greater than us. Yet he doesn't believe in God. And if he does believe in God, he believes in the mystery God. He leaves and he comes back as though he has something superior. But here is a man who wears many hats, earned those hats, and he's telling his reader, his listener, that there's a chance that a just God is going to come on the scene. He's going to change situations. He's going to sit down a people. He's going to raise another. This is Thomas Jefferson. He whose Holy Quran was used in Minnesota as the first Muslim governor was sworn in. It was Thomas Jefferson's Holy Quran that was used. But this is why they have to deal wisely with us. God's justice would sleep for just 400 years. He comes to judge those who have and are dealing wickedly wise with us. Considering the number of us who were brought here, considering the number of us that we lost in the middle passage on the way here, considering the percentage number of our dissatisfaction while being here, considering nature now and how out of such a high percentage of dissatisfaction that through a natural pregnancy, a natural childbirth, nature will produce one to turn around. That's that dissatisfaction. All praises due to Allah. Messenger Elijah Muhammad teaches us that what we long for will finally appear. He's gonna revolve the wheel of fortune. So the last shall be first, and the first last. Now that's Matthew 20 and 16. Looks like Thomas Jefferson was bearing witness to the scriptures. For many be called, but few chosen. The scripture says, so the last shall be first, and the first last. For many be called, but few chosen. On behalf of Messenger Elijah Muhammad, we call many of y'all to the truth. We call many of y'all to the temple, but only a few are chosen because only a few of y'all are showing up. Allah, when he comes, he brings about a complete revolution. He brings about a complete change. Thomas Jefferson said, an exchange of situation is among possible events. But Messenger Elijah Muhammad said that this exchange of situation isn't only possible, but in fact inevitable. Oh, it's in your favor, black man. This is justice. Allah is the utterly just. After he executes the judgment that we read of in the book of Genesis, in chapter 15, his chosen will come out with great substance. That's a change in situation. A great day for the slave, but a dreadful day for the slave master. God will be with us at that time. We should expect Elijah at that time because Elijah means God is with us. He gifted us Elijah. So even in his absence, he is yet with us because Elijah is with us. All praises due to Allah. He made Elijah into himself. But when God interferes, Mr. President, it won't be supernatural. It'll be realistic. He comes in person. He has no attribute, not one of the 99 attributes to take sides with it in this contest. He does, however, have one attribute to take the lives of the enemy in this contest, and that's Al-Muqneet, the bringer of death. The contest is the war of Armageddon. Which one will survive, black man? There have been many wars that have broken out that you took part in, black man. But you didn't take up arms against your enemy. You took up the arms of your enemy to kill the enemies of your enemies on behalf of your enemy. That's wise on the part of the devil. How was he able to convince you to do such a thing? You need supreme wisdom, black man. The enemy is wise, and he's dealing wisely with you. Which one will survive? It appears, black man, that you've chosen. It appears that you've chosen, black woman. Your commander in chief, President Joe Biden, said, nuclear Armageddon is the highest it's been for 60 years since the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis. If you know history, and history is best qualified to reward our research, so teaches Messenger Elijah Muhammad. If you know history, you know that that was a very, very, very intense crisis. They called it the October Crisis of 1962. 35 days of confused heads of state, rulers, heads of nations, scrambling and confused. The United States and the Soviet Union near a nuclear showdown. 60 years later to the day, the United States and Russia moments away from a nuclear showdown. Which one will survive, black man? You say America. You believe in the military might of this beast. You say no one is able to make war with him, not in win the contest. You have all hopes that this white man wins the contest that President Thomas Jefferson spoke of. But Thomas Jefferson said he and his people won't survive the contest. He said they won't survive the war of Armageddon. Our commander-in-chief, Messenger Elijah Muhammad, said we, the Muslims, prohibit the carrying of arms, but yet are accused of planning to overthrow the government by force. See, that's scriptural again, talking about we might join their enemies against them. Nah, we join on to our own and let Allah fight the enemy for us. All praises due to Allah. See, God is drying up America by degrees. The fall isn't an event, it's a process. Wait and watch. But what you gonna do while you wait, black man? The condition that they have us in ain't gonna change on its own. Surely Allah changes not the condition of a people till they change themselves. That's Holy Quran 13 and 11. Truth changes us, so teaches Messenger Elijah Muhammad. Upon acceptance of the truth that Allah has given us through his messenger, we change, we reform. Denial or rejection of the truth means to remain ignorant, blind, deaf, dumb, and ultimately die without knowing. What a death. Our condition is slavery, suffering, and death in this land. If the land was ours, we take to responsibility more. We're without land, so we let the owners, the enemies, worry about that part. I mean, that's where we are with it. not concerned with the land. We're not concerned with buying land. We get jobs, we buy clothes, we eat potato chips, and we think we free. If the land was ours, we'd take better care of ourselves. But this is their land. They are the rulers and the teachers of this land. You don't see slavery, black man, because you earn a living today. You don't see suffering because you wear designer clothes today. You don't see death because you call yourself a vegan today. Mm-mm. But you're employed by the devil, employed by the enemy, from slave to prominent servant. Those are the steps that you've taken. Paying top dollar for high-end fashion, which bear the name of the enemy, the name of the devil, boldly. Gucci, Louis, Ralph, Versace, all devil names. You don't see death because you can't see the enemy. You're blind. He's an open enemy to us, and yet you can't see him. The enemy is the Caucasian. The devil is the entire white race. Death himself. The same one who you call yourself a vegan after. Allah changes our diet upon acceptance of the truth. He changes our names. He changes our condition. He changes our situation. He brings about a full and complete change. All praises due to Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. They have to deal wisely with us. They want to get us up out of the land. They want to prevent us from multiplying. Oh, we got to watch they teachers, sisters. Billions of brain connections that build the foundation for learning are created during the first 3 years of our babies' lives. If you won't be the first teacher to our children, but send them to the same people who destroyed us, then the enemy is the first teacher to our children. We lose time that way. We must teach and train our own. We got to watch their doctors. We got to watch their nurses. We got to watch their ministers. We got to watch their cremators. We got to watch their politicians. The doctors giving us the wrong diets, approving bad drugs, prescribing those drugs to only have us become dependent on those drugs, which in turn keeps us dependent on them. That's wisdom. It's wicked, but it's wise. They're dealing wisely with us. They're nurses handling our babies as soon as they are born in our absence. This is why we need a nation of our own. They're ministers preaching to us in our families that God is a mystery. Yet God is white. The angels are white. Jesus and all the prophets are white. They teach us to seek friendship with the enemy instead of seeking separation from the enemy. That's foolish. Their politicians offered you integration, though no earth came with integrating. In order to build a nation, you must first have land. cannot build an independent nation for our children on this earth without some of it that we can call our own. They want to get us up off the land, but they don't want to free us. They don't want to spit us out. This only means to get you out of society. They want to prevent us from multiplying. So they build abortion clinics and abort 20 million black babies. 40% of all babies aborted in this land since Roe v. Wade have been black babies. They build prisons. We broadcast live right now from Muhammad's Temple of Islam number 18 in the crooked city of Cleveland, Ohio. Right now, Ohio has 27 state prisons, 2 federal. Ohio is the 6th largest prison system in the land, but just the 35th state inside. Some Black Americans rated at nearly 5 times the rate of white Americans. We are incarcerated at a state average of 1,240 per 100,000. Whites just 261 per 100,000 residents. They are absolutely dealing wisely with us. They give us guns, drugs, and alcohol. Everything you would expect to find in the pipeline that leads straight to their penitentiaries. See, Allah is the gatherer of men. He's the doer of what he intends. He gathers the lost found sheep of the tribe of Shabazz. He puts them to themselves. But he also gathers the guilty blue-eyed on that day. Holy Quran, chapter 20, verse 102. The day when the trumpet is blown, and we shall gather the guilty blue-eyed on that day. It said, we shall gather the guilty blue-eyed on that day. This ain't no spirit. This ain't no spook. The Quran uses the same language that the Bible uses. Us, we, him, he, his, our. These guilty ones that we read of in the Holy Quran, they have eyes. Invisible spook, devil. This devil has eyes. He has blue eyes. Blue eyes lack pigment and excess collagen deposits. No collagen deposits, no pigment in these blue eyes. The messenger teaches us that blue is an untrue color. So the fact that these so-called blue eyes lack pigment and excess collagen deposits, that is to say that whatever light enters these eyes, the light is scattered back into the atmosphere. This is the Tyndall effect. That effect produces a blue hue. Collagen fibers in the eyes of the guilty scatter the light, and it reflects off of the surroundings, making eyes appear blue. The light is scattered in their eyes, just as the light is scattered in their flag. Look at the red sun in their flag. That red is the light. The light is the truth. 7 red stripes of truth with 6 white stripes in the truth, because the white man is in the mix. The devil is in the details. So-called stars of justice in the blue square. Blue is an untrue color. No authentic blue sky, no authentic blue ocean, no authentic blue eyes. Yet the arch deceiver, the man of deception, will be gathered on that day. The day that the 7th angel shall sound his horn. That's today, black man. Islam will survive that contest called Armageddon. Regardless to who wins these small preliminary wars, like this one between America and Russia, they're both Christian nations. Christianity been in Russia since about what, 980? Christianity, no matter what land it's in, means slavery, suffering, and death for you, black man. Join on to your own. Flee to Allah and its messenger, the true God, Allah, Master Farah Muhammad, and his personal choice, his hand-picked anointed apostle, the most humble and honorable Elijah Muhammad. Listen to what the messenger says on page 253 of Message to the Black Man. First paragraph. They desire to make the mess think that they are true believers by saying that they believe that he is the messenger of Allah, while in their hearts they do not believe that he is the messenger. See, today we have a lot of these ones out here who say they believe and accept the teaching and position of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. They said it while he was here. They wanted the messenger to believe that they were really with him. But you have a lot of those from that time who are present today, and they are not believing that Elijah is the messenger. He's all kind of things today. They've given him titles that are only fit for Allah himself. They themselves even come in some of the titles that are only fit for Allah himself. We gotta get back to the basics. We gotta stick to protocol. We are at war. I'm not saying that yesterday, October 7th, was the anniversary of the messenger's birth. I definitely ain't saying that it was. I'm saying I don't know. I don't know because the messenger himself didn't know. What I do know is that yesterday was President Putin's birthday. Y'all worshiping the messenger on the devil's birthday, just like the Christians worship Jesus on Nimrod's birthday. What a shame. So I will close with the greeting words of peace as I came before you. which simply means peace be unto you in our original language of Arabic. Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, who came to us in the person of the Master W.F. Muhammad. All praise is due to Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, Master of this day of judgment in which we now live. Thee alone do we serve, and to thee alone do we beseech for aid. Guide us along the right path, the path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed favors, not the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor of those who go astray after they have heard thy teaching. Say he, Allah is one God. Allah Zee, of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He neither begets nor is he begotten, and none is like him. And I bear witness that none deserves to be served besides Allah. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is his true servant and last apostle. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum.